Good day, everyone. My name is Avatar Jrim, and today we are on adventure of discovering what is the cause of war between modern art and contemporary art. The same as me, I think Mumu have lived for 100 years now. Therefore, let us ask Mumu what happened or what is the cause of war between contemporary art and modern art? Or what is the difference between contemporary art and modern art? Mumu?
Yay! Hi everyone, my name is Mumu, and here it is the difference between modern art and contemporary art. Now let's talk first what is modern art? We are in a museum, and modern art includes artistic work produced during the period extending roughly from the 1860s to the 1970s, and denotes the styles and philosophies of the art produced during that era. The term is usually associated with art in which the traditions of the past have been thrown aside in the spirit of experimentation. Next, I'm here. Let's talk about contemporary arts. Now, contemporary arts has a timeline of 1970s until today. Strictly speaking, the term contemporary art refers to art made and produced by artists living today. Today's artists work and respond to a global environment that is culturally diverse, technologically advancing, and multifaceted. Now you know the difference between contemporary art and modern art. And now let us delve into the different examples of modern art as they were part of our history and current art forms. Let's go! Avatar Jerry?
Thank you, Momo. Thank you for letting me know who to summon in my past life during the era of modern art. To unlock the first and second example of modern art, let me summon Avatar Juana.
Good day everyone, I am Ms. Joanna Lagunay and I will be discussing the modern art futurism and modern art impressionism. So modern art futurism was an Italian art movement of the early 20th century that aimed to capture in the art of dynamism and energy of the modern world. It emphasizes dynamism, speed, technology, youth, violence, and objects such as the car, the airplane, and the industrial city. Futurist art alternated between semi-abstract or completely abstract. Some representations are reconstructed into geometric forms influenced by Cubism, that the viewer could barely comprehend them. One example of futurism art is The City Rises by Umberto Buscemi on 1910. The artist shows a modern city rising. There's a major building in construction in the background. In the foreground, we see the workers, some of whom are trying to overpower a horse. The whole scene is in motion. All the painting's subjects are blurred and fused together to create a sense of dynamism. Modern art impressionism was a groundbreaking approach to art that emerged in the 1860s. Unlike the formal conventions of classical art, Impressionism emphasized capturing the transient effects of light and color. Impressionism describes a style of painting developed in France during the mid to late 19th century. Characterizations of the style include small, visible brushstrokes that offer the bare impression of form, unblended color, and an emphasis on the accurate depiction of natural light. example of Impressionism art is Claude Monet's artworks. Monet is considered to be one of the founding fathers of Impressionism. Monet loved to paint in the open air and capture in his paintings the natural light. One of his most famous works are the Water Lilies series. So art historians often cite Impressionism as the first truly modern art movement. Today, Impressionism is the world's most popular artistic movement.
And our third classification of examples of modern art is symbolism.
Modern art symbolism. It refers to the use of symbols in modern art to convey the abstract ideas, emotions, and concepts. Symbolism in modern art involves the representation of these ideas through visual elements such as form, colors, lines, and shapes. Artists may use the symbols as a means of communications, allowing them to express the complex meanings beyond the literal representation of the subject matter. These symbols can be used in modern art can be both universal. Additionally, universal symbols are those that have widely recognized meanings across different cultures and contexts. Example given for this is the Death of the Grave Digger by Carlos Schwabe. The Death of the Grave Digger is a painting created by Swiss symbolist artist Carlos Schwabe. The painting, which is completed in 1895, is a part of the symbolist movement which aimed to convey abstracts, ideas, and emotions through the visual symbolism. In the Death of the Grave Digger, an old grave digger is inside the grave he is dug, looking up at a beautiful dark angel who is holding a green light in his heart. The symbolism is not lost in the audience. The angel is the angel of death, and she is holding the grave digger's heart and soul. His time has come.
And now, let's move on to the fourth and fifth example of modern art, which is the abstract and cubism.
Hello everyone, I am Ashley Jadgilang, and I will about to discuss the abstract art and modern art cubism. But first, let's talk about abstract art. What is abstract art? Well, abstract art is a multifaceted genre that comes in a diverse range of forms. The ambiguity and lack of objective representation inherent in abstract art has made it tricky for many to understand. Why? Because this art does not represent an accurate depiction of visual reality. However, it communicates through lines, shapes, colors, forms, and gestural marks. Abstract artists use a variety of techniques to create their work, mixing traditional means with more experimental ideas. Understand that abstract art can be defined as painting, sculpture, photography, design, or any art form that does not objectively nor accurately represent visual reality. It is a wide and varied artistic approach that has influenced various movements over the course of history. A person who is generally credited as the pioneer of abstract art is Wassily Kandinsky. He famously said, "Back then, not single painter was painting in an abstract style." Cited as an early champion of abstract painting, Wassily Kandinsky was not only a Russian painter, but also an art theorist. The influence he instigated and left on the art world and on abstraction was immense. His most significant work was arguably Composition X. Last in his lifelong series of compositions, he sought to culminate his investigation into the purity of form and expression through his work. Having used the color black sparingly in his practice, and up to this point, it has been critiqued that this work is both evocative of the cosmos as well as the darkness of foreshadowing nearing the end of his life. The artwork is supposedly one of his last pieces he had created before his death in 1944, and thus resonate deeply with many of our familiar with the artist's work. In the painting, there is an ocean composed of black waves that seem to represent the unknown future. And now, let's talk about Cubism. Cubism was a revolutionary new approach to representing reality invented in around 1907 to 1908 by artists Pablo Picasso and Georges Braque. The Cubist style emphasized the flat, two-dimensional surface of the picture plane, rejecting the traditional techniques of perspective, foreshortening, modeling, and chiaroscuro, and refuting time-honored theories that art should imitate nature. In Cubist works of art, the subjects are analyzed, broken up, and reassembled in an abstract form. Instead of depicting objects from a single perspective, Cubist painters presented a new reality of paintings that depicted radically fragmented objects. From the year 1907 and 1917, Pablo Picasso pioneered the Cubism movement, a revolutionary style of modern art that Picasso formed in response to the rapidly changing modern world. In collaboration with his friend and fellow artist Georges Braque, Picasso challenged conventional, realistic forms of art through the establishment of Cubism. He wanted to develop a new way of seeing that reflected the modern age, and Cubism is how he achieved his goal. Picasso wanted to emphasize the difference between a painting and reality. Cubism involves different ways of seeing or perceiving the world around us. Now, Picasso believed in the concept of relativity. He took into account both his observations and his memories when creating a Cubist image. One of Pablo Picasso's famous Cubism art is Les Demoiselles d'Avignon in 1907. It features 5 nude figures assumed to be brothel workers, rendered with angular bodies and almost disjointed limbs on the flat, two-dimensional picture plane. And that will be the abstract art and Cubism art.
Thank you so much, Avatar Ashley, Avatar Marjorie, and Avatar Joanna for taking us back to the modern era of art. Now, let's move on to the contemporary art with its examples. I think you don't need me anymore because you have lived in this kind of contemporary art era. And now, let me vanish and let you understand the contemporary art. Thank you!
So good morning everyone, I am Jessel Mihaujan and I'll be reporting the performance art and the video art. So let's start with the performance art. So performance art is an artwork or art exhibition created through actions executed by the artist or other participants. It is a time-based art form that typically features a live presentation, one audience or two onlookers, and draws on such arts as acting, poetry, music, dance, and painting. So I have here an example of the performance art, which is the Manmanok dance. So a little description of the Manmanok dance is that the Manmanok dance is a dance performed in Vegan Ilocos Sur. This type of dance mimics fools wherein a tribal blanket that represents the colorful plumage of wild cocks are shown off by the warriors. The warriors who intend on winning the attention of the maiden hand. So the next contemporary art is the video art. So the video art is the name of the original analog videotape, which was the most commonly used recording technology in much from the history into the 1990s. So video art is also a new way of expressing ideas or feelings through digital use. So I have here an example of the video art which I have found on YouTube. So which is entitled The Deadline or Deadline. So my own understanding of this video art is that this video art shows the strain or the pressure that a student has to endure to reach the deadline or due date. So this is very relatable sa ato ano kay since we are students, we are pressure and we have to carry out this burden to accomplish our specific task to a specific deadline. So I think that's all for my report. Thank you for listening and have a good day.
Hi everyone, my name is Jole Lape and I will be discussing about what is land art. So land art is also known as earth art or earthworks. It is a form of contemporary art that uses natural landscapes or the earth itself as the medium or canvas for artistic expression. It emerges in the late 1960s and early 1970s as a reaction against the commercialization and commodification of art. An example of land art is Robert Smithson's Spiral Jetty created in 1970 on the northeastern shore of the Great Salt Lake in Utah, USA. Smithson used over 6,000 tons of black basalt rocks and earth to construct a massive spiral-shaped jetty that extends into the lake. The artwork interacts with the changing water levels and reflects the surrounding landscape's natural beauty and geological history.
What is installation art? So, installation art is a term mostly used to describe artworks that are made in situ. This means that the work is created or installed within the specific space where it is meant to be viewed. Installations often occupy an entire room or gallery space and requires the viewer to engage with the works of art by interacting with different media and navigating their relationships with space. So, do you know who is the father of installation art? So, the term father of installation art is often attributed to Marcel Duchamp, a pioneering artist of the early 20th century. While he didn't create what we now consider installation art in the modern sense, his groundbreaking works, such as The Bride Stripped Bare by her bachelor's Even, is also known as the large glass, and his concept of ready-made, where ordinary objects were elevated to the status of art, laid the foundation for development of installation art in the later 20th century.
Contemporary virtual arts refers to artistic creations that are produced using digital technologies and are experienced primarily in virtual or digital environments. Unlike traditional forms of arts, which are often physical objects or installations, contemporary virtual art exists in digital formats and is typically accessed and experienced through computers, smartphones, virtual reality headsets, and other digital devices.